Looks as though we've got two Michael Cokers trying to join the meeting, Michael.
Is that right?
Yeah, no, but it's okay. If I can ask everyone to go on to mute, that would be great. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Russell Hardy. I'm the chair of South Warwickshire University Foundation Trust. And tonight's meeting, which is our second hustings meeting, is being recorded and will be available on the YouTube channel and the Trust's website. It's a Meet the Governor candidates opportunity for members of the public to see the 5 candidates who are standing for the 4 positions in Warwick district and borders. The format of the meeting is we're going to give each of the candidates 5 minutes to introduce themselves. We have made previously available their statements explaining why they're standing. And after 5 minutes, I will ask them to close if they're going to take more than 5 minutes. And if not, we will move on to the next candidate. But I will give opportunities for questions at the end. But if you want to use the chat box facility on this Teams meeting, you're very welcome. If you can keep your cameras on but microphones muted, that would be wonderful. So Peter, if I could ask you to turn your camera on if that's possible. So first up tonight is Jean Arrowsmith. Jean, over to you.
Thank you. Hello everybody, my name is Jean Arrowsmith and I'm very proud to say that I've been a governor for the last 12 years, a very active governor. My support for South Warwickshire hospitals is really intense because it's heartfelt. I trained at Warwick as a nurse in the Warwick School of Nursing, and I've been committed to everything that they do and everything that they try to achieve, and I'm really proud. I've been chair of the Patient Care Committee for many years, and last year I organised and designed an audit for A&E, and all the governors were involved and said how much they enjoyed speaking to patients and relatives. The CQC commended us for actually asking patients what they thought about the service. I'm also a member of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee, which actually interviews for chair and also does the appraisals on a yearly basis for all of the non-exec directors who are really important to the trust and to also our chair, obviously working closely with HR. I'm also a member of the Safer Discharge Committee, where we've worked really hard over the last couple of years to make sure we've got enough pharmacists, to make sure that any tablets that haven't been delivered we take home, and a whole raft of other things. Everything to do with any clinical care or any other care, I've tried to be involved. And it's just been a joy. So I hope you will feel able to vote for me and allow me to do another 3 years as a hospital governor, because I feel I still got a lot to offer, and my clinical background really does help with having relationships with staff and understanding a lot of things. So I'll say thank you very much and hope that you can vote and say goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jean. Well, as I said, there will be the opportunities to ask questions of members of the public of any of the candidates or all of the candidates at the end. So thank you, Jean. So we'll move on now to Manu Chacko. Manu, over to you to introduce yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to present my candidacy for the role of public governor. My name is Manu Chacko and I reside in Bindley. I'm a dedicated NHS employee at University Hospital, Coventry and Warwickshire Trust, and I'm deeply committed to serve the community. My strong ethical foundation aligns perfectly with the Nolan principle of public life, ensuring I always act with integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. I understand the importance of this role, and I'm prepared to dedicate necessary time, effort, and effectively fulfilling its responsibilities. I'm particularly drawn to this position because I believe in vital role of public governance in ensuring the voice of community is heard within the decision-making process of the trust. As a resident of Coventry, I'm eager to contribute to the well-being of the community and to support the trust in providing high-quality healthcare service. I'm a strong advocate of inclusivity and diversity, and I believe that a diverse range of perspective is essential for the effective governance. I'm confident that I can bring a unique perspective to the role, drawing upon my experience within the NHS and my commitment to the community engagement. I'm eager to actively participate in trust activities, engage with staff, patients, and wider community, and to ensure that the trust continue to improve and deliver excellent healthcare service. I'm confident that my skills, experience, and commitment will make me a good governor to South Warwickshire University NHS Foundation Trust. Thank you.
Manu, thank you very much, and thank you for your candidature. Next up, then, we have Michael Coker. Michael, over to you.
Good evening. I'm Michael Coker, and I'm seeking re-election as a governor of SWFT because an important, if not the most important, service in our local community is the medical service. We have a hospital which is acknowledged as the only outstanding hospital in the Midlands and has recently been elected as Trust of the Year nationally. I know the staff and management want to maintain that rating and where possible improve it, and I want to support them in every way possible. My background is that I was born in Coventry and my home has been in this area ever since. We moved to Kenilworth shortly after our marriage and brought our family up here, and I've been involved in the community ever since. As a local Rotarian and many years ago round tabler, but more particularly as a solicitor in general practice in Leamington, in local charities as a trustee, and on the town and district council, and as coroner for Warwickshire. My experience as a lawyer was wide-ranging, from minor magistrates to large commercial contracts. And as a local politician, I've headed up many major developments within the district and the area, and led both authorities on separate occasions. I also had the privilege of being coroner for the county and carrying out many inquiries, which always had a medical element, sometimes including the hospital. As a result of these offices and living here, I know the community and know many people from all walks of life within it. And I'm used to listening to them and want to listen as to what their experience is and whether that can be helpful. I was elected as an original foundation governor and have remained on the board since, with the exception of the period when I stood back because of pressure of other duties. I was appointed as the first chair of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee, which recommends, as Jean said, appointment of members of the board. And I've remained on that committee since, and have therefore helped to appoint the chairman and most of the directors, and more particularly ensuring that they have had a wide range of experience in other fields so as to assist the decisions they make at the hospital. I'm also a member of the End of Life Committee, which has the important role of palliative care for those concerned and mitigating the effects on their families. And here my experience as coroner is of some value. I have made sure that I have time to meet my commitments as a governor and attend all meetings of committees, and also the frequent informal meetings with the chairman and members of the board, where we have the opportunity of informally discussing current problems, perhaps raising issues, perhaps putting forward suggestions. I want to assist the staff and the board to maintain the excellent rating of the Trust, while at the same time, with constructive criticism, look for improvements where these are possible. I hope you will assist me to do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And so we'll move on then to David. David Fitzpatrick, over to you.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I would hope that you get a chance to look at what I wrote as well, because I'm not going to talk about it in what I say. I'm David Fitzpatrick, husband to a lovely wife and two fantastic children, both at university. I retired in June last year, having previously led large organisations to deliver great outcomes for its customers. My experience with the NHS is through my work supplying services to it, but also obviously receiving care myself, my wife and my children. And then my wife has been in the NHS for most of her career, first of all as a nurse and then as a clinical psychologist, which is the majority of her career. She retired also last year with me, and we're having lots of fun together doing that. If I was elected as a governor, I would be particularly motivated about learning about the trust, and as a consequence of that, finding ways to improve the results for our community. I do love the stated mission of the trust to help people live healthier and happier lives. And I can see some of the successes in the news from the trust. I especially love the Hydra bubble for chest therapy developed by the people who work in the trust. And I think encouraging the people who do work there, who know where the opportunities exist and have got to be the key to that happier and healthier lives mission. My own experience of finding a way to create better outcomes is to develop and continually enhance trust with those that you lead through making commitments and delivering upon them. They need to be small enough so that the results can be seen quickly and significant enough so that they matter. In addition, I think a plan which is measured is essential, as well as supported through an appropriately skilled set of people, training, experience, etc., to deliver that plan. Representing my community to make things happen would be a responsibility, but also an exciting opportunity. As a person, I believe in hard work and ingenuity, but also in enjoying what I do. I have personally found that enjoyment comes from the content of the work that you do, but also I love the interactions with the people in the team and those who are depending upon you to deliver the results that they need. As a governor, delivering the mission to help people live healthier, happier lives would be particularly fulfilling, as I think being happy is pretty well the most important thing in life. I hope I've given you enough insight to enable you to vote for me, and thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, David. And finally, Ian Hodges.
Oh, good evening. My name's Ian Hodges. Okay.
Ian, it's a little bit difficult for me to hear you.
Okay. I'll move closer to the microphone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Back with you.
Yeah, okay. My name's Ian Hodges. I'm a retired incorporated engineer. An incorporated engineer is someone who has been trained with experience.
Ian,
yeah.
I apologise. It's still not a. Colleagues are telling me the sound still isn't great. I'm not sure if there's something in front of the microphone, maybe, or.
No, nothing I can see.
Don't you just love technology when it's not perfect? Okay,
Can you hear me at all?
We'll persevere, but if you could lean forward, that'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. I'm a retired engineer, incorporated engineer. An engineer is somebody, a corporate engineer is somebody who's been trained and with experience as a problem solver. I served a full 5-year technical apprenticeship at Thomas Pottervins, who were boiler manufacturers. My training covered all aspects of factory, ranging from the methods office to the tool room. As a result of the training, I consider myself to be a proper engineer and could turn my hands to most things. After my apprenticeship and a year in the work study office, I decided that while young I wanted to travel. To this end, I joined P&O as an engineer officer. I spent most of my 4 years on Eastern Service, which covered most of the countries between Africa and Australia. My duties covered all aspects of engineering in the safering of the ship. This experience gave me the discipline of service life and also the responsibility of working with a team of people of different nationalities. During my time at sea, I have been in contact on a regular basis with a young lady who, upon my return, became my wife. We were married for 52 years. My employment upon return was to be as an engineer to automotive products, where I was promoted to a service training school. A bit further my career, I became a technical sales manager at a company in Coventry. I was promoted after the company was purchased and taken over, and I became a European sales manager. By now, we had started a family, and travelling was not conducive to that life, so I started my own engineering company, which grew to employ 10 people. We were manufacturing production lines. I was approached by a large group to join their team, and they purchased my company. My life continued in engineering until I retired at the age of 62 from the assay office in Birmingham. I was engineering and facility manager there. Being semi-retired, I worked 3 days a week at the National Trust for 3 years. By this time, my wife was becoming unwell, and I spent more time looking after her. Having to be flexible, I joined back and forth transport, where I was a volunteer and took patients to hospital, and also drove a minibus to take elderly people to hospital and disabled to shopping trips, and also visits to the seaside. I did this until my driving licence expired through Class D. To assist with traffic issues, I became a parish councillor, and after a year I was elected as chairman. I've held that position since then, which is for the past 6 years. During this time, I have been instrumental in steering a new play area, improving facilities within Covington, and most recently have started a hobby centre where everybody is welcome, and it is hoped it will become a community centre for many residents who do not socialise and have some sort of impairment. The centre has been built to design and enable people, any person regardless of mobility, to have access and enjoy the facility. I encourage and provided support to the council to start and run a youth club, and since conception we have 150 children registered at the premises, with 50 attending each week. During the pandemic, as chairman of the parish council, I helped ensure that the people of Covington could have access to outdoor space for physical and mental health. I helped install over 500 metres of path around the recreation ground. The path was used and is used by people walking, both adults and children, and is designed so that people can run and children can ride their bikes. I'm an advocate for people gaining health benefits from being outside in the fresh air in green spaces. Since becoming a member of the council, I've only ever missed 2 meetings. As a result, as I have stated in my previous notes, my wife was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and the last 2 years I became a full-time carer until she was hospitalised and finally passed away in July last year. The role of governor appeals to me as I have a broad experience of management and looking after people. I'm a logical person who is up to date with technology in regards to microphones. I'm a caring and considerate and also able to work with all types of people, getting the best from them with friendship and support. Thank you.
Ian, thank you very much.
No,
thank you. And I'd like to thank each of you, collectively and individually, for your candidature. We are blessed to have such able candidates coming forward for the positions. I'm conscious we've got Dilys and Louise on the line as members of the public. Are there any questions you'd like to ask the candidates? If you do, would you want to raise a physical hand and I'll come to you? Looks as though you've stunned them into silence, ladies and gentlemen. So the process is from now, Sarah, the closing date for votes is on the, can you remind me?
It's Thursday, the 13th of February at 5 p.m.
Okay, good job. It's not Friday the 13th. So if you have members of the public who you know are considering voting, who are members of SWFT, please invite them to do so. But if there are no questions forthcoming, I will just thank Jean, Manu, Michael, David and Ian for giving up their time tonight. Being a governor is, I think, as Jean and Michael have indicated, is a very worthwhile and fulfilling role to undertake. It is time consuming to do it well, but it is incredibly important to help SWFT to continue on its journey of providing the best possible healthcare and experience to the citizens that we serve. So I will see the 4 successful candidates on the other side of Thursday the 13th. But in the meanwhile, I wish you well and a happy evening. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.